It's good, Josh. Good, good. Yeah, y'all. It's, happy Friday to y'all. Happy Friday. Yeah, I think it's rush hour right now. You know how it is. Around about matter of fact, it's not even 5 yet. It was almost 4. It's 3 something. But I guess some people get off around about now and later on too, I guess. Yeah, today is my early day. Yeah, get off 11:30 on Fridays. Yeah, it was raining today too. Funny thing about today, it's a random person. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, it's been hot out here today, but it got back cloudy. It got back cloudy too. So Hermanus Blocks. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, it got back cloudy, but it's been raining today. You know, it's been kind of humid, but yeah, what I'm glad about, as far as Virginia, we're about to get some weather that's in the 80s. I think today's in the 80s actually too, matter of fact. And tomorrow's gonna be in the 80s, and Sunday I believe, and all next week is supposed to be a lot cooler than it has been. Because you know lately it's been 100 some degrees or 90 some degrees, you know, like really, really hot. Sahina, hey, how you doing? I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Yeah, but I'm glad about cool weather we're getting now. Well, cooler weather we're getting now, rather. It's still basically hot, like I said, but now it's cooler. Getting a lot of cooler temperatures. I can deal with like 80 degrees and stuff like that. It's like 83 degrees is like a lot better than 100 degrees. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate all my supporters. Appreciate y'all. Let me see, I'm here to copy. Natalie, hey, how you doing? Yeah, if anybody's familiar with my channel, I got a U-Melanin series coming up after the series I'm currently doing right now called Sidewalk Dudes. Yeah, sidewalk dudes are the cats. When I say cats, I mean person. He's using slang, but sidewalk dudes are the guys that are in the hood, but and not the gangster, not the thug, not the drug dealer type of dude, not the street cat, just a regular type of dude, not the gangster dude in the hood, which we call, projects too, but just a regular guy in the hood that has experiences and seeing different things going on, and he is street smart, know about what's going on, and knows about what we call the struggle. And not to make that the be all to life and the be all to the what we call the so-called black community, because we're not black, we're copper tone people, copper colored people. Yeah, y'all, but definitely check out the Sidewalk Dudes series I'm working on. My subscribers, I know y'all already know about it, but I'm just saying, anybody in general, if you're a random person coming across my channel for the first time, we got Sidewalk Dudes. Episode 1 is out right now. Episode 2 is out right now. And episode 3 will be on the way as soon as possible. Then episode 4 and 5 after that. But yeah, the thing about the Sidewalk Dude, that's basically, what I am is myself too, along with some other guys I know, people I know, and it's even, you're seeing different archetypes of this type of guy in the, what we call the projects, the hood. Fresh Prince, Will Smith, is a prime example of that type of guy. Jazz, his friend Jazz, will be considered a sidewalk dude as well. And if y'all ever seen the movie Boys in the Hood, another example of sidewalk dude would be Trey, and also the character Ricky, because Ricky was a football phenomenon, football player, a phenomenon as far as a football player. Before with him getting unalive later on, tragically, but Trey was just a regular type of guy in the projects that wasn't a gangster, wasn't a drug dealer, but he was street smart and knew about what was going on in his neighborhood, saw some things, and essentially that's the I just talk about those characters in that particular movie just to give y'all an example of what a sidewalk dude is. And I had a cousin ask about what defines a sidewalk dude, and basically a sidewalk dude has to be from the hood, because a guy from the hood is a sidewalk dude as far as not never engaging in drug selling, or never was a gangster or in a gang or anything like that. Just like Trey and Ricky, I was just talking about the Boys in the Hood. Just using those guys as an example, so y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, as far as me go, as far as my experiences too, with being a sidewalk dude, and the reason why I'm mentioning some of my experiences is because I was asked a question from a relative about what a sidewalk dude is, and then also I just want anybody who comes across this live, any of my subscribers who may feel like they don't really truly grasp the definition of what a sour dude is. I want y'all to hold up, y'all. I want y'all to be able to know what a sour dude is, basically. And you know, when I look at my experiences from my childhood, you know, back in the day, I remember being, you know, a little kid and going through, you know, adolescence in the, you know, in the hood back in the day, all the way up to adulthood, and my mom and dad, you know, were great parents, raised me with good morals and raised me with manners, raised me to respect my elders. And my stepfather were great parents to me as well, were showing me about being respectful, of course, you know, manners as well, and basically just doing the right thing. So, you know, I was you know, raised a certain way, and I know that played a lot into me not going towards the streets as well, along with me just having a mindset to, I guess you could say, just go the other way, because it's always tempting to be able to, I'll say this, it's always tempting, and it's always a temptation, it's always an opportunity for you to go that route if you choose to, you know, the drug route, the route, the gangster route, or whatever, street dude route. Yeah, and I just, you know, I chose to just do the regular thing. I was drawing. I was into like cartoons and superheroes and stuff like that. You know, just like I told you on the first episode of Sidewalk Dudes. And yeah, speaking of my dad too, ironically, today is his birthday. You know, rest easy to my pops and stuff. And yeah, but you know, back in the day, in my neighborhood, I remember back in the day, you know, in my neighborhood, I had you know, a friend of mine's. We were, you know, one of my homeboys. We were gonna go to school, right? But we planned on going to school, but we wasn't gonna miss school. But we were in middle school at the time, and then yeah, like it's about to rain out here too. But we were in school, and I mean, we were gonna go to school because we were going to we was elementary. I mean, excuse me, not elementary, but middle school at the time. And we were going to school, but we decided to drink some beer, and that was my first time for trying beer ever in my life. You know, ever. That was my first time for trying beer, so you know, I tried the beer, and you know, it tasted, you know how beer tastes. If you ever tasted beer, it tasted a little funny to me, but at the same time, it's like, oh man, I'm finally drinking something. So we get the drinking right in the crib. We was gonna go to school later. We leaving out his house. We supposed to have been left like talking like 8 o'clock or whatever to get on the bus. I think so. We had to be on the bus by 8. So we leave out the crib, out his crib, and guess who comes driving down the street? My pops, my dad. So he telling me, yo, boy, this show be in school, this and that. And I'm looking like, oh man, I'm thinking like, oh man, I got caught. So I tell him, oh yeah, I'm about to go to school, I told him that, and he like, yeah, go ahead, make sure you get on, go to school. So to him, it was more so, you late, just hurry up and get to school type stuff, right? But he didn't know about the drinking, because we had literally just finished drinking the beer, me and my homeboy. So next thing I know, after my pops pulled off, I'm walking down the street with my homeboy. Then next thing I know, my mom's catch me. So y'all know I got in trouble. So I was like, oh man, my homeboy, he just peeled off. He ran off, you know. it was. I was thinking to myself like after a while, like, hey, I can't blame him for running off, you know. So I got in trouble for that, and also too, I've seen. There was one time I've had the experience. I seen, typical thing in the hood, crackheads. Just people just hook bad on the drugs, and we seen we heard about people getting shot or hurt, seen bullets flying. Yeah, one time I was coming out my old neighborhood to hang out just to go see my relatives and stuff as well, and I was leaving. I left the neighborhood I was staying in at the time, the other neighborhood. So when I left the neighborhood to come visit my old neighborhood, the same neighborhood I was just talking about that I drunk beer in, I come into the neighborhood, right, coming to this big field. So it was a dice game going on, and sometimes a dice game might go wild, might go a little sideways because everything was good at first. I seen, I could see the dice game from a distance, but then next thing I know, excuse me, y'all, these cars going past. Yeah, but next thing I know, all I heard was pop, pop, heard some shots, and I'm like, oh man, so I just turned around, just run, and as soon as I turned around and ran, I could hear more shots, pop, 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 and I literally just ducked down, and I still was literally running as I was ducking down, literally punched over but running still, because I didn't know where the bullets were gonna go when it happened, and all I know is I just I just took off and ran, because it was the type of thing where you heard shots just go down or something crazy go down and people scattering. It was like that type of thing. So I ran all the way back home to the neighborhood I was staying in at the time, and that was some of the things I seen that were just crazy, man. And when I say this thing about the sidewalk dudes, I'm not saying it in a sense like you've been out the hood, you're a sidewalk dude, that makes you better than somebody or makes you put yourself on a pedestal. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying, since I got asked that question, and I would like my subscribers to know as well, is that a sidewalk dude is the dude that's not the thug or gangster in the hood, not the dope boy, but he's going through things, seeing things, and like I said, those experiences I just told you about, that was some of the things I experienced. And I was just seeing some crazy things. Yeah, and one thing about being a sidewalk dude too, I wanted to let y'all know, my audience know, especially some of my subscribers who may not be in the live right now, but maybe watch this later on. I just want y'all to know, sidewalk dudes, you have to have been in the hood from, so like if you were 10 and you had just moved in the hood at 10 years old, and you grew up in the hood from like the age of 10 all the way up to like 19 or 20, somebody like that is a certified sidewalk dude, or somebody, if you were born, it's like you were born in the neighborhood, the projects, whatever, and you came up in the projects from a little kid to about 15, 16. And even if you were to move away from the projects at like 15, 16, 17, and more so like 16 and more, and 16 and up, from a little kid to like 16 years old, something like that, you definitely would be a certified sidewalk dude because you had that experience. And it's not, sidewalk dude is not a person who was, living in the projects for a small amount of time and moved and didn't stay in the projects anymore, or either somebody that never lived in the projects, or even if you're a person that was hanging with somebody from the hood because y'all, y'all real tight or whatever, or y'all was relatives and you hung with them out his neighborhood. Of course you got some experiences of the hood from being around that relative or that friend or homeboy, homegirl, but it's still not a sidewalk dude. And the only reason why I say this is because, well, one of the reasons why I'm saying is just to let y'all know what a sidewalk dude is all the way, but at the same time too, it would be an injustice to me. It would be a slap in the face to some of the guys that been gangsters and the thugs and street dudes. And not to say I'm trying to glorify the violence and wild stuff in the hood, because you got a lot of guys that were gangsters and thugs and dope boys that never wanted to live that way, but just certain things that went through that led to them going that route. And I would never, ever, get online on YouTube. And I was even in a back chat group some years ago with some other people I met from YouTube. And when I met them, I made sure I let them know the truth about my background, who I was, because the reason why I mention that as well is because it would be a total slap in the face to any guy that been through like a hardship as far as going to prison and been on the streets and in any kind of shape or form. And I try to take upon that as if I did that and act like I'm a street dude because I grew up in the environment where you could become that. Because I could have became that had I made the choice, but at the same time, my family wasn't playing it. My mom and dad wasn't playing it. My stepmom wasn't. And even that story I told y'all about with me drinking the beer, getting caught by my mom's after I got caught by my dad, I didn't even take into account that my stepmom used to walk with my siblings down the street, so she could have caught me too, coming from my homeboy house from after we drank the beer. But I didn't get caught by her. But me just getting caught in general was just crazy, because I was just like, oh man, like this is crazy, man. I'm getting caught, man. I got caught, man. What am I gonna do? It was that type of thing. You're not scared of getting caught when you're a child, especially when you're doing something wrong. So it was a scary feeling. That kind of feeling when you get you feel something dropping in the bottom of your stomach, like that type of feeling. It was like that. This, like I said, though, you definitely can't be a sidewalk dude if you never stayed in the hood, and that's not to say that living in the suburbs or really good middle class neighborhood is a bad thing. That's a great thing, because in all honesty, I would have loved to have grew up in the suburbs myself, honestly, and not because I'm ashamed of where I come from. It's not that. It's just that it was such a from what I've seen on TV and stuff, I'm seeing certain characters on TV, it's like they was living a life that I would love to have lived. Yeah, and like I said too, this sidewalk dudes, if you never stayed in the hood, and stayed in the suburbs, I would consider that to be a Cosby kid. That's one of the terms for somebody that stayed in the suburbs, Cosby kid, which I think is a cool. That's a cool term too. Yeah, but like I said, though, you definitely want to be real about what you've been through, because like me, just like I told people on the internet and outside of the internet, even here on my channel, I told y'all I've been about the comic books, been a comic book type of guy, been about having fun, been about a superhero type thing. I like video games as well, even though I've never been a big gamer per se, but I have played video games at my friend's house, but I do like video games. And like I said, I've been into comic books, and but I have been through some things as far as the neighborhood. And then I'm gonna tell y'all what's so dope too is I got some cats that I know, that that really really respected in the streets and stuff. Really respecting the streets. And a lot of these dudes, I know some of them are homeboys, like older cats and homeboys that had literally stamped me as far as them respecting me in the hood, as far as it's like they stamped me with having a name in this city, in my neighborhood as well, but a name in the sense of who I am, not because I never tried to act like I was some gangster or thug and all like that, just genuinely being me. And I got stamped by those guys, the guys that all those dudes, the real dudes like that, what we call real dudes, all the real the real dudes. And I've been stamped by some of those cats, and it was just like, wow, like shocking. It's something I didn't even expect, but I definitely appreciate that, because I want to be respected for just being my genuine self, and I got mad respect for these cats as well, the dudes I'm talking about. I got the same respect for them that they have for me, and I genuinely appreciate the respect that they have for me. Because I just believe in respecting men in general. A man respects a man, period, regardless of how you are. It's just like I told people before, I don't care if it's Steve Urkel, I respect Steve Urkel, because Steve Urkel's still a man. So I definitely respect those other men. And for me to have been stamped like that by some other dudes, man, that I know, it's just it's an honor to me, because it showed that me being who I genuinely am, that it paid off. I'll say that it paid off, because you got the different types of dudes, from the what we call the park. Because we call our projects the park here in Shark City. Here we call it the park. But I am, like I say, I'm a park dude, but I'm just not the street park dude, but I am a park dude. But I got stamped by the real dudes, and I definitely appreciate that. And so and growing and the thing about it, growing up in the what we call the park is not easy. It's not easy. So it's because I'd be lying if I say I knew about selling this, or I knew about how it is to do this. I knew about spinning a block and all that. No, I'd be lying if I said that. But at the same time though, guys that's in the hood that are sidewalk dudes, we got some experiences too. We go through some struggles too, as far as things we've seen and all that. And it hasn't been an easy road for us as well. It hasn't been easy for us. It's starting to rain out here too. Yeah, and like I said before too, I said it in the first episode of Sidewalk Dude, shout out to Gotham City Guard. I got shot, always got shot them out, man, because I didn't even know about the term sidewalk dudes until I heard them say it. So shout out to Gotham City Guard. Yeah, and I definitely respect him mentioning that term because of, and and I and I'll say it like this too. I know some people say don't put yourself in a box and stuff like that, and I agree with that because the kind of person I am, I definitely agree with that. But I don't think nothing wrong is wrong with a dude that's from the, pop or projects, calling himself a sidewalk dude if he is, and to me, I look at the sidewalk dudes as multifaceted type of dude from the hood because some of them into the sports, some of them can be into the comics like me, some of them can just be the regular type of dude where you just you might be into music or just into sports or into like whatever anime, whatever. But like I said, you definitely have to be from the projects, from the park, what we call the park, the hood, to be a sidewalk dude and to have those experiences. Because y'all, anybody that's seen the last episode of Sidewalk Dudes, y'all heard what my nephew was saying about some experience and stuff. And see a dude, anybody that's in the suburbs or something, they're and not saying nothing's wrong with the suburbs. Suburbs is cool. I hung out the suburbs, and I still hang out the suburbs sometimes. Even in my city, the downtown area of my city, a suburbs called Ganton, it was really fun. But the reason why I mention the suburbs, I'm just mentioning it to say that if you're in the suburbs, you're not to say crime can't happen in the suburbs. I'm not saying that. I don't want anybody to take it the wrong way. But I'm just saying you're not seeing the things that you see in the projects like on a random, like just seeing this person get chased by cops or seeing the cops harassing people or stuff like that, or dope boys or the dope fiends. That's what I mean. And seeing another thing too with me being out the projects like that during the time I was growing up in adolescence times and stuff. I even experienced police harassment from the cops on more than one occasion. So that's another thing too, man. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Even when I got grown in my 20s, just to show you how cops can be sometimes. I even had a narc cop come to me asking for drugs, assuming I was a drug dealer. But of course I'm not, and never been. So I was telling him I didn't have anything, and then he walked off and left. But he was pretending to be a crackhead, basically, like a drug addict. And then come to find out what's crazy, y'all, I saw a cop car go past me right after he walked away from me. I said, man, y'all think somebody born yesterday? Because he was trying to get me. Yeah, he was trying to, set me up to get what we call tow off. We get busted by the cops. He was trying to get me busted by the cops. They thought it was slick too. That's so funny about it. They thought it was slick, but it didn't work because I realized what he was on. And then, like I said, I don't sell drugs anyway. Ironically too, y'all, I was literally headed to work now. That's what's so crazy about it. So I'm a working man, and y'all thinking somebody a drug dealer. Come on, man, that's crazy. Yeah, so I definitely want. Yeah, I'm about to eat dinner in a little while too, y'all. I'm just chilling. I ain't doing too much. Yeah, the first time I ever tried any kind of form of smoking was out the, park back in the day too, out the projects back in the day too. just like, my first time trying beer. And that time, the time I tried a beer, the time I was about 14, I believe, about 14. Me and my friend, my homeboy told you we were going to school, but we were going late because, like I said, we were drinking at his crib or whatever. But but the thing about the sidewalk dudes, you definitely want to be, and I'm just saying it's more so just for the definition of it. Just want to let y'all know, if you were in the hood as a little kid all the way to an adult and, experience things, definitely a sidewalk dude, or if you was a little kid all the way to, like I say, at least like 16, something like that. Because, 16, that age is really close to an adult. Like, because, a lot of guys are considered to be adults at 18. And I know technically, genetically, some people consider the guys to be an adults when they're 28, but then I know that genetically, from what I've been hearing anyway and know about, you are basically grown when you're 21, like far as physically grown. So the reason why I mention that is to say that if somebody is a little kid all the way up to your 20s out the, project, your hood, and you experiencing things, definitely a sidewalk dude. If you're a little kid to like 16 or 17, definitely a sidewalk dude, because you experience a lot of things and you're mature enough and conscious enough to know what's going on, to comprehend what's going on, to have the experiences, to take things in, have knowledge and awareness of your surroundings and all that, and you got the full experience of what it was to grow up in those conditions, those circumstances, that kind of area, that neighborhood. And it's definitely not good to pretend to be something you're not. You definitely don't want to do that. And that's one thing. And then, y'all, what's so crazy about me talking about this, Robert Townsend, back when he was doing the show Parenthood, if anybody's familiar with that, Parenthood, his son Michael wanted to portray being a gangster in a rap group with his friend, and him and his friend had a good upbringing, because what it was is Robert's character, which his name was Robert in the show too as well, if you haven't seen the show. But Robert was from the projects basically, but he made it out the projects and was living a really nice neighborhood and nice house in right in a really really good neighborhood. So his son Michael never experienced the projects or anything like he did, but his son was portraying Mike was portraying being a gangster and all that, like I said, in this one episode in particular, which is one of my favorite episodes too. And he pretended to be a gangster along with his friend in a rap group, and then to teach him a lesson, Robert takes him to his old neighborhood in the projects, and Robert allows him to meet some of the guys that are still staying in the projects that he knows, some younger guys. So these younger guys intimidate Michael, which, in the streets, you call it pressing somebody. So they press Michael to the point where Michael is just shaking up and scared and everything, thinking these guys ready to jump him and all that. But then one of the guys say, Mr. Peterson, I can't keep doing this. He just busts out laughing. And that guy that said that too, he played Hakeem on Moesha, Brandy's show, rest easy to him. But, he said that and all of them laughed, even Robert laughed too. So Michael was looking like, oh, Dad, you tricked me and stuff. And all the guys gave Michael, dap and everything, shook his hand and everything. And he learned his lesson from that. Michael learned his lesson from that. And later on, there was kind of a thing where he was looking at his dad like, okay, Dad, I get it. You got to be yourself, can't be faking and all that stuff. Because anybody that know about rap, even though people haven't always been truthful about what they experienced as far as rapping, some people, but we know that traditionally rap was about just being your genuine self and being true to who you are and what you rap about. So Robert taught Michael a lesson within the episode, taught him like, you're not from the struggle, you're not from this, so stop rapping about it. And Michael learned his lesson, and Robert was from that, but Robert just happened to get to a point in his life where he made enough money to make it out and just live and I knew he wanted to have a, better life for his kids, which is understandable, of course. So the reason why I mention that story is just to say that if a person is a sour dude, just be a sour dude, be a genuine self. If you know, or if you're not a sour dude and you're the street dude, so of course 9 times out of 10 the street dude gonna just be a street dude, be his genuine self. So that's why I never try to fake like I'm a street dude, because I don't want to be disrespectful to the cats that been lived their life, because that'd be a slap in the face to them. And then with people wanting to be a sour dude, if you're not one, I think is it kind of the same thing. It's not the same thing like sour dudes are gangsters, because sour dudes are not gangsters, but a person that's not from that environment where a sour dude is basically made and created, if you want to say that. And what I mean is, you grew up in the struggle and grew up in a way where you seen this happen, seen it happen, but you never was a part of that. But you was a sidewalk dude because you literally on the sidewalk experiencing these things going on in your neighborhood, and you got friends and people that that are maybe street cats or whatever, and the dope boys, but you respect them, but you living that life and you got respect for them, and they respect you because you've been right there with them. So I just had to mention, I want to mention all that because of me getting a question asked about what a sour dude is. So anybody watching this live or watches this live on replay, that's basically what a sour dude is, and that's some of my experiences, the things I was talking about a while ago. I just want to let y'all know about that so y'all can kind of get a better understanding of me. And anybody that watches the Sour Dudes episodes, this live right here is just really breaking it down about what a sour dude is. So if you're watching episodes and really feel like you don't really have a grasp on what a sour dude is, this live right here is just explaining it. So I definitely want people to understand what a sour dude is, and another reason why I made the Sour Dude series too is not just so people can really understand about who I am, but I also want to just put it out there for sour dudes, regardless of what state you're in, sour dudes, period. I just want people to know about the sour dudes, but also is a way for me to showcase about being your genuine self, being about who you really are. So that's the point of that too, because you don't never want to fake it. Because like me, for instance, if I had moved to a suburban neighborhood before my teenage years, or either if I was born in a suburban neighborhood and that's all I knew, I'd just be a Cosby kid. I wouldn't even claim a sidewalk dude at all, because I know I wouldn't feel like I was. And matter of fact, I would know I wasn't. I would just be like, yo, I'm a suburban cat. I'm a Cosby kid. I'm a Cosby kid. That's why, I'll shout, I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to VA as a whole, 7 cities. Shout out to all the sidewalk dudes. Shout out to the street dudes, street cats and stuff. Respect to all y'all, man. Respect to the dudes who know me. Y'all know me. Y'all rock with me. Y'all rock with y'all. Respect to y'all. Much respect to y'all. Much love to y'all. And much love and respect to all my subscribers, all the people who support me, everybody I know on YouTube. And that's anybody that knows me from YouTube. Respect to y'all too as well, man. Yeah, much love to y'all. Yeah, y'all can, let me let y'all see this right quick. We getting some rain now. There's some drops coming down in the lake right there, yeah, so we get some rain. Yeah, I knew it was getting rainy today too, and it's really cloudy now too. Yeah, so I'm gonna end this live, eat dinner a little bit, chill, relax, get ready, enjoy myself for the night. Oh yeah, y'all, another thing too, the new Naked Gun movie came out today, starring Liam Neeson. I definitely want to check it out because I like Liam Neeson as an actor. He's a dope actor, and I think this is really dope too because this is a newer version of Naked Gun. So I'm gonna check it out, and I'll definitely let y'all know what I think about it. Matter of fact, I'll do a review on it, let y'all know what I think about it. Because I like doing movie reviews a lot about movies that I've seen, and once I check it out, I'm gonna definitely let y'all know what I think about it. But yeah, I'm about to go, y'all. I'm chilling, about to go chill, relax, enjoy this night. Much love to y'all. Enjoy y'all Friday night. All praises to the Most High. Word up, and thank y'all for y'all support. Much respect to y'all. RedHawk 1.